Good morning. I am live in the Serious Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California, and this is your Tuesday Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is stepº5 Witecki. I'm a psychic astrologer, and I call myself the Sensei to Serious Joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light each day. I love the planets, and I love watching the vibrations of Earth, and since I was actually in my early 20s, I've been fascinated with manifestation. It's been my personal journey to understand how it is God goes from thought to concrete reality, and it is all beautiful and wonderful, and I'm still learning every day. And the step astrology system is part of how I've learned very much through my guides, actually, in full honesty. And I have learned through them and then followed through what they've told me, and then seen in my own clients that they were indeed correct, and so we are learning together. And now we're on a really interesting journey. Venus is retrograde, and so there is a kind of blast from the past going on. It's my opinion, by the way, that a lot of this Venus retrograde mystery can be uncovered in Sagittarius, wherever Sagittarius is in your chart or your client's chart. I think any kind of Sagittarius energy there is going to reveal. Now, I come from a Neptune and Sagittarius generation, so we have a whole generation of Neptunes that are awakening, I think, with this retrograde. I think it's through Leo, of course, but I think in fact it's going to change the Sagittarius energy. This is my theory as an astrologer. I think this is really the awakening of the Sagittarius, and God has been working on the Sagittarius for quite a while. If you were alive in this lifetime, we had Pluto in Sagittarius from 1995 till 2010. That was a hell of a doozy. We also had Saturn in Sagittarius prior to that in 1985, and so during that time in Saturn Sag, it was pretty prevalent. There was like Farm Aid and Live Aid. There was, the wall. It was the beginning. The wall didn't come down, but I think it was the prelude to that thinking. It was a lot of belief structure change. Then Pluto went through Sag from 95 to 2010. So that was pretty much where all the light workers came out. That's where a lot of us started exploring spirituality in a very full-time way, I think, but in the background. And now here Saturn is back in Sagittarius, or at least will be. It's currently at step 28 Scorpio, and I think it is there to create the boundaries for the Saturn and Sag transit. So I think Saturn and Scorpio is just to create and prepare for Saturn and Sag, and it's my belief that the Sagittarius transit is very much based on a past life. And it's my belief there are many people on this planet, both young generation who have Pluto in Sag, people like myself who have Neptune in Sag. I have Black Lilith in Sag. There's a lot of Sagittarius energy. Not to mention we had the Mayan shift in 2012, which has to do with the galactic center, which is in Sag. So this is kind of the Raiders of the Lost Ark moment of our generation. And that's, I think, very Sagittarius energy, too, that kind of feeling of adventure and culture and maybe hidden mysteries. So that's the setup. It's exciting times. And Venus is retrograde, my friend. And today it's going to be a dynamic day. I already kind of looked at the chart a little bit and started to feel the energy and then turned it off. So without further ado, let's get a quick reading of the planets, and let me check in with my guides. Okay. So today the first thing that comes up is that the energies of today might be hard to deal with for some people. This might be the first time that your yellow chakra is challenged emotionally, because it's just that your solar plexus might be having a hard time accepting certain possibilities. So basically this is, even though yesterday was technically the day where belonging changed, today really is ruled by step 4 as we open the day, and then the rest of the day is step 5, which means that we're trying to get our mind around this new belonging. So the first thing that came up is like this solar plexus kind of like anxiety, almost like we're going to the fair, almost like, this is kind of the anxiety I felt when I was going to Disneyland as a kid. I would get this crazy excitement inside of my solar plexus. So it's kind of that feeling that's coming up, and ultimately the mind is what's looking for something to hold on to. So what you hold on to is your heart and what your heart wants, and you remind yourself, they say, of what your heart is looking for. What grounds you is the affirmation of what your heart wants, and just continually interview yourself and ask yourself, is this what your heart, is this the direction your heart wants? I'm seeing lots of variations of how this happened. People are watching movies, people are reading books, people are getting signs and songs. Like, I can see it happening in a variety of areas. It has to do with what inspires a person's heart. So in every generation, that can be a video game, that can be so many things. So do not discount anyone's heartfelt interest right now. They're saying, in other words, if you're a family member, someone around you's heart opens up about something, supporting their heart will support your heart. So if you don't know what your heart wants, go along with someone else's heart and their adventure for a minute. It will inspire you, and God is showing me that there's probably something along their path that's meant for you. Togetherness is something that we're going to be working on. They're showing me, like, we have really separated ourselves, and this is an illusion. It's one thing to come down into the illusion and enjoy it for illusion's sake, but to forget to be an illusion that you're in an illusion is just chaos. That's what they're saying. So it's like we're coming out of this illusion, and what comes out of the illusion is really following the yellow brick road, which is what your heart wants, which is the moment-to-moment things that your heart wants. And in some cases, togetherness is the way we get to our own heart, because our friends, our neighbors, the people around us, they make us feel safe. They open up our heart, and those in some cases are God's messengers who've come for that reason to help you with that. So if you're lost, they say, child, go along with a friend on their adventure and be by their side. We are moving forward today, so Spirit is going to be communicating, it feels like, very strongly to everyone. I'm getting ridiculous, just concrete message. One thing that I'm going to, share, and I think it's time now, is that one thing that's surprising in this Venus retrograde is I'm getting closer to God. Of course, never thought about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kidding. But like, I am getting, and I was like, well, of course, that's my heart, but like, yeah, the heart of the heart of the heart. So I'm getting a lot of crazy spiritual affirmations right now that's like almost my name in the sky sort of things. And I think right now, for those who are ready for those types of affirmations in their life, Spirit is saying definitely to reach out. Yes, and Saturn at 28. So they're reminding me to remind you that this is a moment where you might have grown up not believing in ghosts. You might have grown up not believing in this or that. It doesn't matter. As soon as you decide that you are open to something else, life will change. And so it is, because you said so. And because you are an aspect of creator and you have the opportunity to create, don't be too fooled by your own limits and your own boundaries that you put upon yourself in the past. And don't forget that you put yourself in those limits and boundaries at a time when life was different. We have a golden moment right now. Everything is okay. It's not raining outside. Sure, water is a little scarce in some areas of the planet, but it is time to rise up and follow your heart, is what they're saying. So just because you haven't doesn't mean you shouldn't, and just because you can't imagine doesn't mean it's not possible. They want you to know that very strongly. So as the day progresses, things will get very exciting and then very serious, and the seriousness is just the reality gelling. So just go with it, and decision by decision, choose the heart. So today, by the end of your day, you might have to make some emotional decisions. These are like choosing, which carnival ride to ride, choosing which, ferry to go on, choosing which vacation to take. Hopefully you're making choice with the heart. And it might feel serious for a few minutes, they're showing me, but the seriousness is just the first time you're feeling any kind of like need to decide in this new carnival of possibilities. So don't worry, it's going to be fun no matter what you choose, and we'll see you on the other side. That's kind of what they're saying, of the choice, and that is the moon moving into Capricorn. So I think what I'm seeing and what they're saying is that I just think the reality, I guess the way I would interpret it to a client would be, the reality of your choices will hit you a little later, and you're going to see, wow, these are some big realities of my choices. And that's the seriousness I think they're talking about. And so that's okay. It's a retrograde, so a lot of what you might be choosing now, or what you might be experimenting with, or what you might be exploring with, A lot of it may just be a quick little return to a past life and may all disappear when it's over. Sometimes it's just a theatrics for us to remember a part of ourselves. So don't take it too seriously, especially now, but seriously choose what your heart wants. In fact, that leads me to my new saying, which is the only thing worth being serious about is your joy. So have a great day, my friend. Seriously. Remember, I love you. I'm your sensei to Serious Joy. And stay in your heart today as you're out there exploring the earth. Come on down to soulgarden.tv and register to be a member, and I'll be back with a new show in 24 hours. Until then, I love you, and live, love, be.